Today we will discuss factor analysis. Now, what is factor analysis? Factor analysis is the technique, it is a statistical technique by which we summarize the data. We reduce the data. Basically, we reduce the data in such a way that correlated variables, they are grouped into one category, and uncorrelated variables, they are set apart and grouped into another categories. Now, how will you apply factor analysis on SPSS? First of all, I have saved data regarding factor analysis. I am opening that. This is file of factor analysis. It is saved in SPSS with extension .sav. Now, these are the set of variables. We have 23 variables, basically 23 statements for which I have collected the data. First statement is statistics makes me cry. Right. Second statement is my friends will think I am stupid for not being able to cope up with the SPSS. All these statements, they are given response on the basis of Likert scale. 1 for strongly agree, 2 for agree. It is basically 5-point Likert scale, and 9 for the not answered. If any person who didn't respond, then I have marked 9 for that. Then standard deviations excite me. I dream that Pearson is attacking me with correlation coefficients. That means these are the negative statements. That means student is not interested in statistics. He finds statistics as a difficult subject. I don't understand statistics. All these are negative statements. Then I have little experience of computers, so all computers hate me. I have never been good at mathematics. My friends are better at statistics than me. Computers are useful only for playing games. I did badly at mathematics at school. People try to tell you that SPSS makes statistics easier to understand, but it does not. I worry that I will cause irreparable damage because of my incompetence with computers. Then that means some of the statements are related to incapability to use computers or understand computers. Then some of the statements, they are related to inability to understand or calculate statistical questions. Computers are out to get me. I weep openly at the mention of central tendency. I slip into coma whenever I see an equation. SPSS always crashes when I try to use it. Everybody looks at me when I use SPSS. I can't sleep for thoughts of eigenvectors. Eigenvectors, again, mathematical term, and it is also used in factor analysis. As we have already discussed in theoretical part. I wake up under my vivid thinking that I am trapped under a normal distribution. This shows that how much you are afraid of statistics, how much you are burdened about the statistics. My friends are better at SPSS than I am. If I am good at statistics, my friends will think I am a nerd. These are the statements for which response is taken on the Likert scale basis on 5-point Likert scale basis. Values ranging from 1 to 5, and these are the responses for these 23 statements. These are the responses of nearly 2,500 respondents, 2571 respondents. Now, how to apply factor analysis using SPSS? First, you have to go to analyze, then dimension reduction. then factor. Analyze, dimension reduction, then factor. Then you have to select all the statements and transfer it into variables. Transfer it into the variables. Then select the option descriptives. You can check the univariate descriptives. You can check KMO and Bartlett's test of sparsity. You can check coefficients of correlation and significance of correlation coefficient matrix. Then you can check determinant also. You can check reproduce matrix or anti-image matrix. Then continue. Then extraction. You have to use principal component method and you have to extract on the basis of eigenvalue, that is Kaiser criteria of extraction. That is, you have to extract those factors for which eigenvalue is greater than 1. And you will analyze on the basis of correlation matrix. It is always a better method because correlation coefficients do not have any units, and it's always better to analyze on the basis of correlation matrix. Then you can also take scree plot to analyze how many factors have been extracted. Then continue. Then rotation. If you find that your variables are loaded on more than one factor, then you can apply rotation. And rotation is basically applied best method of rotation, that is Varimax method. And we apply rotation by using Varimax method. Then exclude cases list-wise, and you can also suppress small coefficients. Generally, we suppress the coefficients less than point. You can take 0.5 as well as 0.3. I am taking here 0.3. Then, okay. These are the output of factor analysis. Output results of factor analysis. Now, how to interpret the results? First is related to descriptive. I take it to the Word file.
मैं उठा नहीं ना कुछ बातें ना हिंदी ना कुछ है, थोड़ी सी इधर मैं बैठी हूँ और यहाँ देखो बातें ऐसे उड़ती।
Please mute.
अब भी बातें तेल था उसमें।
Now, this is the result of descriptive statistics, which shows us that different statements, they have average of around about 2, near about 2. Like statistics make me cry, average response is 2.37, the standard deviation of 0.828. Then my friends will think I am stupid for not being able to cope up with the SPSS. For this, average is 1.62, with standard deviation of 0.851. And I dream that Pearson is attacking me with correlation coefficients. For this, response is 2.79. That is, there is average response. As the values, they range from 1 to 5. And this is approximately average response, and the standard deviation is 0.949. I don't understand statistics 2.72 and so on. Here it is little bit skewed, that people try to tell you that SPSS makes statistics easier to understand, but it does not. That the response is towards the 3.16. Now, what does 3.16 means? Here we have taken the value like 3 is for neither and 4 for disagree. That means responses towards disagreement. It is towards the disagreement, right? Then these are the responses of descriptive statistics for different variables. Now, this is the result of correlation matrix. It is clear from this matrix that there are some variables which are correlated to each other with value near about 0.402. That means there exists correlation 0.339, and values are greater than 0.3. There should be some values which should be greater than 0.3. It is 0.382, 0.380, then 0.423, 0.347, 0.313, 0.442, 0.369. That means there is some variables which are correlated to each other, and they can be grouped in one variable, one factor, or they can be grouped together. It is 0.590, 0.501, 0.513. That means there's enough coefficient of correlation which have value greater than 0.3. And see here, even these correlation coefficients are significant also, because SIG values for these are less than 0.05. SIG values are less than 0.05. So correlation between these variables, it is significant. So we can say that we can apply factor analysis because there are enough correlation coefficients whose value is greater than 0.3. Correlation coefficient is greater than 0.3, and they show correlation with each other, so they can be grouped together, right? Then next is KMO and Bartlett's test. KMO and Bartlett test generally value greater than 0.5 is acceptable, but uh, value ranging from 0.5 to 0.6, that shows that results are sample size is adequate. It is not good, but value greater than 0.6 says that sample size is good, and value is greater than 0.9, which shows that our sample size is enough, because we have taken 2571 respondents, so sample size is enough to calculate factor analysis. These are the results of KMO. And here Bartlett's test of sphericity. Now, what does Bartlett test of sphericity shows? It shows that here null hypothesis. For Bartlett test, we frame the null hypothesis that correlation coefficient matrix is insignificant. And alternate is correlation coefficient matrix is significant. Correlation coefficient matrix is significant. Right? Correlation coefficient matrix is insignificant, and alternatives correlation coefficient matrix is significant. Bartlett's test of value it is basically chi-square value. It comes out to be 19,334.492, 19,334.492 with SIG value 0.00, which shows that null hypothesis may be rejected. may be rejected. Hence, there is significant correlation among variables. There is significant correlation among variables, right? The next is coming to next table, coming to output file. This is the anti-image correlation matrix. Now, what does anti-image correlation matrix shows us? Here, these diagonal variables, 0.627, 0.812, 0.609, 0.615, it tells us about the sampling adequacy for the single statement. Now, all the diagonal elements like this, 0.627, 0.627, 0.812, 0.812 tells us the sampling adequacy for second statement, then 0.602, then 0.615. All these values are greater than 0.5. All these diagonal elements, they are greater than 0.5, which shows that your statements, they have sampling adequacy, 0.780, 0.803. Then this one is 0.470. I did badly at mathematics at school. Here sampling adequacy is not perfect. It should be 0.5. It is little bit less than 0.5. So we can ignore this statement while calculating factor analysis, but it is near to 0.47. So we can take here as such this statement. Then 0.576, 0.549, all these values are almost greater than 0.5. Greater than 0.5, all the diagonal elements, which shows that there is adequate sampling adequacy for every statement. Then next is this is anti-image correlation matrix, and all the values, these are greater than 0.5. So we have accepted these values which are marked A. These are the anti-image correlation coefficient matrix. And here all the values are greater than 0.5. No value is less than 0.5. So there is sampling adequacy. There is sampling adequacy. You have to check this in correlation coefficient matrix, not in the covariance matrix. The matrix given above, it is covariance matrix. You have to check it in the correlation coefficient matrix, anti-image correlation coefficient matrix. You have to check all the diagonal elements. If the diagonal elements are greater than 0.5, then you will say that each and every statement, it has sampling adequacy. Here all the statements which are marked A. Then next is communalities. Next is communalities. Now, what does communalities means? Here, always remember that initial communality for any variable, that is 1. And these are the total. Here there are total 23 variables. So total communalities, that will be 23. Total of the communalities, that will be 23. Now, what does extraction means? Extraction means after applying factor analysis, how much of the communality of each statement is being extracted in my extracted factors. Like if I have taken here, total variance explained is this. I have taken 4 factors, and in these 4 factors, variance explained by first variable, that is statistics makes me cry, is 0.435. Variance explained by the second variable, second statement, that my friends will think I am stupid for not being able to cope with SPSS, is 0.414. Variance explained by the third statement is 0.535, and so on. This is the communalities extracted after applying the factor analysis. And this is the total variance explained. Now here, how many factors are being extracted? there are different criteria of extracting the factors. First criteria is total variance criteria. And according to this criteria, we extract that very number of factors which explain at least 60% of the cumulative variance. 60% of the cumulative variance. But in this case, I have applied the formula, I have applied the criteria which on the basis of eigenvalue, and eigenvalue criteria tells us that we extract those number of factors which have eigenvalue greater than 1. Now here eigenvalue greater than 1 is for first 4 factors. So 4 factors are extracted here, though their cumulative variance is less than 60%. But since factor analysis technique is given by Kaiser, Professor Kaiser, so Kaiser criteria is always considered better as compared to other criteria. So we take, and Kaiser criteria tells us that we should extract those number of factors which have eigenvalue greater than 1. So I have extracted here 4 factors, right? And variance explained by first factor is 31.696, and by the second factor is 39.256, then third factor 44.981, and fourth factor it is cumulative variance, and it is variance of the single factor. Variance of first factor is 31.696, variance of second factor is 7.560, variance of third factor is 5.725, variance of fourth factor is 5.336. Now, first of all, we will take this extracted sum of square loadings. And this is the scree plot. And according to this plot, only 2 factors will be extracted. Because scree plot tells us that we extract the factors when this slope that flattens down. Here, the slope is flattened down after this. You can take 4 factors, but slope that is basically here this slope is steep and after that it is flattened down. So scree plot tells us that only 2 factors are extracted. But again, best method is that of the Kaiser criteria. So we must take 4 factors. Then this is the component matrix. Now I have suppressed the factor loadings. These are the factor loadings. Factor loadings of different statements on various components. I have applied the principal component method. So factors extracted, they are named as components, principal components. And here, first statement that is loaded on first component, second statement that is loaded on both first and second component. And again, this statement, I have little experience of computers, that is loaded on 2 components. This is loaded on, I have never been good at mathematics. It is loaded on all the components. That means I am checking